Carmela, it's almost New Year's Eve as we record this episode, so what's the first thing you think of when you're thinking about a New Year's Eve celebration?
Well, naturally, I think about sparkling wine.
Yeah, me too. And when you think of sparkling wine, what do you think makes it extra festive?
I know, something pink.
Ooh, I agree. So how about we learn about and taste 3 reasonably priced sparkling rosés to see if they'll be a hit this New Year's Eve.
Ooh, sounds great.
Let's do it. Hello, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair. All right, a quick orientation for those of you who may be new to the podcast. In each episode, we learn about and we taste and review 3 wines, I'm rolling my R's, that are reasonably priced, meaning under $20, and should be easy for you to find. And our goal is to have some fun, to learn about some new wines, and talk about wines in a way that regular people like us can understand. And we are proud to say that we are officially recommended by the editors of Decanter magazine, who call us fun, irreverent, chatty, and entertaining.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, are you ready?
Aren't we?
Aren't we, though? Are you ready for it? I have to say, I'm a little tired.
Wow.
Because I was vacuuming.
Oh, my God. I know. I had him vacuuming today. You wouldn't have believed it.
I can hardly believe it.
I was taking a video for our daughter because he happened to be vacuuming her room and shock. We gave her a little shock treatment.
That's right. She was like, what the hell?
No.
Okay, so Carmela, just in time for New Year's Eve, we have another episode on holiday sparkling wines. And as we said in the intro, this time we are focusing on sparkling rosé.
Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah. Now, we love sparkling wine. And we will say again, as we always do, that sparkling wine is something we recommend you drink when?
Any day, any time, any season, anywhere, anyhow.
That's right.
Exactly.
So
we've come a long way. You know that?
We have.
No, but you know what I'm thinking is the rosé part. We've actually come a long way with that.
That we have too, because we never used to drink rosé at all, and let alone sparkling rosé. But I think people often don't realize how great of a food wine sparkling wine can be, because I think we generally associate it with things like parties and New Year's Eve and weddings and drinks after dinners.
And kind of a toast wine.
Yeah, toast wine, maybe aperitif.
Like
no, I get it. I got that. Yeah.
I mean, you can have toast with it. Okay, anyway.
But we are here to tell you that sparkling wine is a perfect dinner wine.
Yeah.
You can have it with dinner. But of course, we do tend to see more sparkling wine during the holidays, and it is most often the drink of choice on
New Year's Eve.
That's right. Although,
oh God, I'm not supposed to scream.
You're not supposed to. So
New Year's Eve. Come on.
Yeah, you have to scream for New Year's. Yeah. Okay, so you will get reprimanded by us. We just have to remind you, if you call the sparkling wine you're drinking champagne, if it's not champagne.
Right.
That is what the French would call un gros faux pas.
Oh my.
A big mistake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they really say that?
No, I made that up.
They probably have some other, word that's a little more of a slang.
Merde.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the wine we chose today, sparkling rosé, can be a little extra confusing for a few reasons. First, both sparkling wine and rosé are styles of wines. They're not varietals. What do I mean by that? You're right, Carmela. I'll answer it for you. By that, we mean that sparkling wine can be made in a variety of different ways with a variety of different grapes. And rosé is also a wine style that can be made in a variety of different ways with a variety of different grapes. So you've
Nicely done.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for letting me answer that.
Well, because you've got it right down in front of you. You're reading off something, and I'm like,
I know, but you know this.
I know,
you know it.
But I'm not going to be as eloquent, and then I'm going to be, like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, eloquent in the room. Okay, anyway. So I do think it's helpful to know what your sparkling wine is and what your rosé are made of and where they're from and where they're made to really understand them. So I think putting these two things together, which sounds pretty simple, a sparkling and rosé, can be a head scratcher because you have to know both. And so that's a lot to know.
True. Well, or you can just drink it and enjoy it and just move on from there.
You could, but then you wouldn't need to listen to the podcast.
Well,
and that's our job. Our job is to help educate you a little bit.
I know.
So we're going to demystify these things a little bit today. And I'll just do a couple quick primers on this.
Easy for you to say.
I know. Thank you. So first, rosé wine is made by using red grapes in the wine and putting the wine juice, which is generally clear or yellow or straw colored, in contact with the the skins of the grapes
the squins.
For a few hours.
This is a new one. Don't forget the squins.
Okay. But that's how you make rosé, right? And then for another quick primer, there are a variety of different ways in which sparkling wine can be made. There's the traditional method, there's the Charmat method, there's a transfer method. But for all of our sparkling rosé wines today, we're going to tell you what grapes they're made from and how the sparkling wines are made. And I think that's really fun because I'm a dork.
Of course, but that's okay.
Wait, of course
you're a dork.
fun?
I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with you.
Here, I vacuumed so she would be nice to me, and it didn't work.
No, is that why you vacuumed?
Kind of.
So,
okay.
Am I being mean to you?
A little bit.
Get over it.
Wow. Okay, I like it. I like feisty Carmela. Okay, you also need to understand, if your sparkling wine is sweet or dry. Don't you think that most people kind of think of sparkling wines as sweet?
I think so, especially if you used to drink kind of the old-fashioned, not old-fashioned, but the time, the 80s,
and the
90s.
Andre,
Yeah, those are typically sweeter
Yeah,
tasting.
You're right. Yeah, and it's true that most sparkling wines definitely do have like sweet notes to them. Sweet notes. But many sparkling wines are not sweet. And Carmela, what kind of sparkling wines are our favorite? Dry or sweet?
We like dry.
That's right. But there's no right answer here because, for instance, your Aunt Glo and Uncle Doc, they like a good demi-sec sparkling, which is on the sweet side.
They gave us a bottle that we tried.
That's right. And so your taste is your taste.
Right.
That's it. But it's good to know what you prefer so then you can decide if you agree with us or not, right? As we do this podcast. We'll just say that the sweeter a sparkling wine is, the harder it is to pair with savory foods or food in general. It's sweeter wines are harder to pair. Yeah, that's not neither.
Is that a universal thing, or is that like what you think?
No. It's a universal thing. It's neither here nor there. Some people like sweet wines. It's fine. Like it's just not a judgment. It's just we've said this. We said this in the last episodes. Italians think of wine as the fifth food group, so we always put it with food. Right.
Well,
so that's just the way we think about it.
Going back to when you think about having sparkling, it's usually when you're toasting, like
celebrating,
before you're having a meal,
or at the end at a big party.
Right. So it's not typically. I mean, you were the one who introduced me to ordering having
sparkling wine.
Yeah, this is sparkling wine. You can have it morning, noon, or night, and any day of the week.
That's right.
But you did. You said, I'm going to have a glass of sparkling, and it was right before dinner. And I was like,
unlike
are
a
you
Tuesday.
kidding?
And you're like,
really?
Can we do that?
Yeah. And I said, I will too.
Let's do it.
So, So we have it all the time with food.
We do. So don't worry, we're going to talk a skosh more about sparkling wine sweetness a bit today. And we have some great links to articles in our show notes. So you can head over to this episode on our website, look for this episode, go into our show notes, open it up, and you can find this information and links and all that kind of stuff. But Carmela, I think we should just go ahead and talk a bit more about sparkling rosé and the wines we chose for this episode and tell you what we think about these wines, right?
We're going to taste them too, right?
That's right. But first, we have to do
your shameless plug.
That's right. So if you are finding that you are enjoying our podcast, we think it would be a sparkling great idea to subscribe to our podcast. And we would also bubble over with joy if you would leave us a nice rating and a review on our website.
Give me this script so I can edit it a little bit.
Yeah. We would love it if you would bubble over with joy, as I said, a nice rating and review on our website or on your podcast service so that people who are searching around will see our readings and pop on over to check it out.
My goodness.
I got
You're
all
so
the
good.
dad jokes
so
tonight. All the dad jokes.
Woo.
Okay. And you can also follow us or reach out to us on Instagram at the Wine Pair Podcast or on Counter Social, our Twitter alternative for choice, or you can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. And as we do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should tell about the Wine Pair Podcast. And this week, we want you to tell anyone who is preparing to party like a rock star on New Year's Eve and needs ideas for sparkling wines to bring or to serve.
Oh, I love it.
How about that?
I think that this is meant for us then.
It's my sexy voice.
Wow, why do you have a sexy voice right now?
I always do.
You do? Oh,
okay,
my.
Anyway. Okay,
we're letting people into like a very personal side of us now. When you bring your dirty voice into it.
Dirty?
You said dirty.
Sexy is not dirty.
Oh, you said sexy?
Sexy is sexy. Dirty's different.
Wow.
I guess somebody's mind is in the gutter. Okay, let's get back to the right. So, as we said,
but truly,
dirty. Okay, anyway, so.
You have the dirty mind with your sexy voice.
Okay, I think it's you who have the dirty mind with my sexy voice. So anyway, as we said earlier, sparkling rosé is actually two styles of wine pulled into one. So let's talk a little bit more about she's putting her face in her hand. I don't know. Okay, so her head in her hand. So first, let's talk a little bit more about rosé and what it is, and then in particular what it is when it's a sparkling wine. Right? And then, Carmela, I will be another snob again, a little nerdy about this. I do get a little irritated when people say they like rosé. And do you know why that is? Because it's not a varietal. That's right.
And you're like, but rosé is not a varietal.
That's right. It's like saying
rosé.
Yeah, it's like saying I like red wine. Well, it's like, well, which kind?
But you know what? I think that's okay.
It's fine, but I do think it's important that you understand. Like it's kind of the same thing with red wines. You should know what you like.
Right. No, I get it.
So first, again, rosé wine must be made at least partially from red grapes because it's the red grape skin or purple grape skin that makes the rosé wine the pink color. And in the process of making the wine, the grape juice is in contact with the red skins for up to 24 hours. So now there are a variety of red wine grapes that can be made into a rosé wine. And some of the most common are Grenache, Pinot Noir, Cinsault, Syrah, Cabernet Franc, or Franc. You always say Cabernet Franc. And all these, by the way, are classic French grapes. And then depending on what grapes are used and how they're mixed together and where they come from, one rosé can taste pretty different from other rosés. Right. And we tend to really like Pinot Noir rosé. But
I do. We didn't we just review one of those? Yeah.
We did a little bit ago.
Actually, but the Kirkland one was a Pinot Noir.
Yeah, but there's some good Grenache ones out there, and so anyway. So when we're talking about sparkling rosé, what's interesting is the tendency is that wine makers often use a particular red wine grape. What do you think that is, Carmela? You'll like it.
It's a red wine grape. The Pinot Noir.
Yeah, they use Pinot Noir. Yeah, that's right.
You already said that.
Yeah, well, no, but in sparkling, especially in sparkling. So in rosé, plain still rosé wines, it can be a huge variety of different red. But in sparkling, it's super common for the red grape to be Pinot Noir. And this is something that I've been learning. So one of the reasons for that is Pinot Noir is one of the 3 grapes that goes into champagne. Sparkling, rosé or not. Champagne, one of the grapes is Pinot Noir. Now, when they make it into champagne, they don't put it against the skin so it doesn't turn out red. It's yellow like the juice. And remember that champagne is a specific sparkling wine that comes from the Champagne region of France. We've said that a million times. And in champagne, the 3 grapes are Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier, which is also a red grape. So sparkling rosé champagne will always be made from those grapes. So that's sort of the classic side of it. And then its use as one of the classic sparkling wine grapes is one of the main reasons why Pinot Noir is used so often in sparkling rosé. So Pinot Noir is used in rosé Prosecco. And we mentioned that a couple episodes ago.
We just did.
And Pinot Noir is used in all of the sparkling wines that we're having today. And maybe that's why we like sparkling rosé so much.
True.
No, so just to note that in many sparkling rosé wines, the other grapes used can be really different. So sometimes they'll use a Chardonnay, but like in a rosé Prosecco, it's Glera. So it's a really wide variety of grapes that can be used. And again, you just have to I think people just need to take a little time to understand what grapes are in the wine. And then when you learn that, you can really determine, after you taste them, you really start to understand, well, what do I like? Do I like this kind of wine, that kind of wine, this style, this varietal? Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about how sparkling wines are made.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Because depending on the sparkling wine, the way it's produced can vary a lot. Now, the traditional method of making sparkling wine is the way that champagne is made. Okay. And sometimes it's called the méthode traditionnelle or méthode champenoise or méthode classique.
Oh, wow.
Right, so you may see that.
To your buddy?
Yeah, no, I didn't. That one I just made up. I don't know. I might be saying it.
No, it was very nice.
Totally wrong. But I won't go into any depth about what the champagne method is because we talked about that in the past. Needless to say, it's a pretty lengthy process. It requires 2 fermentations, disgorgement, all this stuff. It's a pretty involved process.
Right. You just don't decide you're going to start making it.
That's right. No,
you got to plan ahead.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So if you do see a wine, even if it's like a local wine, like we have a Chateau Saint Michel does a traditional method sparkling wine. There's a lot of effort that goes into that.
And that is actually what is so impressive about like winemakers. I
Totally.
feel like, and that is something where so I know a lot of people miss because they can tend to be more like me, like, oh, let's just drink it.
Yeah. And not
think about.
I do think
process.
they're okay. I think they're okay if you just drink it.
Yeah.
I think they'll be
happy.
like, hey,
look,
buy this.
Look,
drink it.
as long as you're buying,
Enjoy.
As long as you're buying, I don't care if you even drink it.
I don't even. Exactly. You can leave it around. Just buy it. No, but we're going to talk a little bit today about the Charmat method, which is the kind of the Italian method. It's kind of the Prosecco method, and I'll explain why. And we'll talk a little bit about sweetness in sparkling wine. So, first of all, we love Prosecco, right? We love Prosecco. People love Prosecco. Prosecco is not made in the same style as champagne. And Prosecco is not made from champagne grapes. There is a style of wine in Italy that is made in the champagne style. It's called Franciacorta. That's a whole nother side
episode.
Note. Yeah. Now, 2 of the wines we're having today are made in the same style as Prosecco, which is called the Charmat method. Sometimes it's known as the Italian method. And in this method, the second fermentation takes place in a pressurized stainless steel tank. The thing you should know about it is it's not made like champagne, so it's going to be a little bit different, and it's a faster method. Like you can make your wine.
That's what I wondered if it was less involved, perhaps.
It is, yeah. Okay. And then I think you also need to find the sweetness style that you're most comfortable with. So we've said this before, we prefer the drier style of wine, which is also known as
Brut.
That's right. And so Brut, extra Brut, zero dosage, or Brut Natural. Like, don't be fooled by the name dry and the name of the sparkling wine, because that means it's sweet. Now, and again, we mentioned this, we love Prosecco, but Prosecco is actually on the sweeter side most often. It's usually, like if you look on the bottle, a lot of times it'll say extra dry, which is confusing.
It is.
Because you think, oh, dry.
Right, and it's not.
It's actually kind of in the middle of sweetness. So it's a little bit, Proseccos tend to be a little bit on the sweeter side. So now, if you do like a sweet sparkling wine or sweet wine, you want to look for dry, you want to look for sec, you want to look for demi-sec, even trocken. And if you like your sparkling wine super sweet, you'll look for like dulce or doux, or mild.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So another shortcut. This is really interesting. Do you know what another shortcut is for understanding sweetness? I'm going to give you a hint. It has to do with alcohol content. Any ideas?
I'm assuming the less amount of alcohol in it, the sweeter it is.
You're right.
I'm so smart.
You are so smart.
I'm just thinking that would be the case.
See, I kind of didn't think that would be the case,
really?
But it is the case. Yeah. So
I
generally,
just think the alcohol taste isn't as prevalent in a sweeter sparkling, and so it just would make sense. I don't know.
And I think they add more sugar to it, and then that sugar doesn't ferment as much. It kind of stays in the wine because like the sugar is what ferments into alcohol.
Right.
So if there's less alcohol in the wine, it means more sweetness has been left in the bottle.
Right.
So a good hint, and this is a really kind of an interesting thing that I found out, is that anything about 11% alcohol or less is pretty good indication you're getting a sweet wine.
Okay, but like a sparkling, what's the range of percentage that's normal, like typical for sparkling?
I think
don't
you'll
feel like
get
it's super high.
No, it tends to be on the lower end, but you can get like on some of the really dry ones, you can get into the 13 and a half range. And then a sweet one, you're going to get in the 11, 10% range.
Because if it's New Year's Eve, you're drinking for a long time.
Yeah, you got to know what you're getting into.
Yeah, you don't,
maybe you want a little sweeter, sparkling.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, a little less alcohol in general. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so some basics again to get you going. First, know what's in your sparkling rosé, and know that the majority of the time it's probably going to contain Pinot Noir, but maybe you want to know what else is in it. The second is know the style of the way the wine is made, traditional method like champagne, or is it the faster Charmat method? And third, know how sweet it is. So if you like your sparkling wines less sweet, look for Brut in the name, or look at the alcohol content. Higher alcohol content, more dry. Lower alcohol content, sweeter. There you go.
Awesome.
A few
so
things.
helpful.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about the sparkling wines that we chose today. What do you say?
Yes.
I feel like I'm talking a lot.
That's okay. You know what? I'm just listening.
Are you?
I've got my listening ears on.
Are you just happy that I vacuumed today?
I am over the moon. That was my Christmas present right there.
It kind of was.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Thank
Kind of
you.
was. Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not until next year.
Next year, guess when I'm going to vacuum again? No, that's not true.
January 1st.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, that was pretty clever. Okay. So now, talking about the wines that we chose for this episode. As usual, all the wines we're drinking today are relatively easy to find. I know you can find them all on wine.com because that's where we found them, and all of them are under $20. And in fact, none of these was more than $16.99.
Wow.
And all of them had ratings from at least one professional reviewer.
Nice.
For whatever that's worth. Yeah. Okay. So, and I will say that none of these wines is a Prosecco, none of these wines is Champagne, and none of them is a Cremant.
Okay.
So how about that?
What are they called?
We're going to go into that in a second.
Okay.
And none of these sparkling wines is from France, and none is from the United States.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't know why.
Special.
This is weird. Okay, so the question is then, what do we have?
Right. Exactly. Don't leave us in the dark.
Ask the question.
Oh, what do we have, Joe?
Well, today we have a sparkling rosé Cava from Spain.
Fun.
A sparkling rosé Brut from Italy that's not a Prosecco and not a Franciacorta, which is mysterious. And a sparkling rosé from the Mendoza area of Argentina.
Oh, my
the home
goodness.
of the World Cup champions.
That's so exciting. I bet you they're popping a lot of this.
I bet they are. And I have no idea about this wine, but it may be on the sweet side. We'll see. Okay. So the first sparkling wine is called Codorníu, Ana de Codorníu, Cava Brut Rosé, and I totally butchered that name.
That's amazing.
And so we've had the non-rosé version of this. We served it.
We love Cava.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and we served it. Costco was selling it. It's in a white bottle. So that was the non-rosé version. We've got the rosé version today.
Fun.
And so Cava, again, is the name for the famous sparkling wines from Spain. And unlike sparkling wines from like France and Italy, Cava is the name for Spanish sparkling wines that are made in the traditional method and come from a designated area. But what's interesting about the designated areas is that they're not contiguous. They're not all together. So where like Champagne is just Champagne and Prosecco is just made in the Prosecco region, there are actually a few different regions of Spain where Cava can come from, but they still have to be in a designated area.
Okay.
So they're whatever that means. Okay. Now, most Cava is made in an area near Barcelona, in near a town called Sant Sadurní d'Anoia, which is where our wine comes from today.
Oh.
And then what do you think Cava means, Carmela? What do you...
Cow.
No, that's a good guess.
Cava. What would Cava mean?
Where would they store...
Grape.
Where would they store these wines potentially?
Barrels?
In a
Stainless steel. I don't know.
cave. It actually means
Oh,
cave.
a cave. A Cava. Duh.
Yeah, no. So that a lot of sparkling wines, not just those in Spain, are stored
of
for their
course.
second fermentation in caves.
What did I say first? A cow?
That's vaca.
Vaca. Yeah.
There's a little bit of dyslexia going on there. Okay, so most vacas or cows or cavas, most
Oh my
cavas.
God, I didn't even know what I was. Okay, that's
okay.
so funny.
You are a little tired tonight. Okay,
little.
most cavas are Brut, by the way, just to let you know.
Okay.
And I think cava is great because it's delicious and it's inexpensive, so it's usually a great choice. And then what's interesting about this particular cava, and I don't know if this is true of all rosé cavas or not, is that it's not made from the traditional grapes found in a cava. So this cava is actually Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, which is more traditional, like a champagne kind of wine. Okay. And then we have some good articles in our show notes on Cava, and there's a good link we included from a source called Masterclass in our show notes, so check them out. And we did last year in episode 9, we did an episode on Cava, so you can check that out. Okay. The second wine is called Cleto Chiarli Brut de Noir Rosé. And this wine is from the Emilia-Romagna area of Italy. And we've mentioned this before, but this area is often called the food capital of Italy. And it's a region that sits between sort of Florence and Venice. And the most famous city in the region is Bologna.
Okay.
Not Bologna.
Right.
But they do have bologna in Bologna, but it's not called bologna. It's called mortadella.
Right.
Okay, I don't know. But that,
Just a fun fact for all of you.
Exactly.
Don't forget it.
So now I think this wine is interesting for a few reasons. First, it's made in the Charmat method. They call it Cuvée Clos, which is what the French call it. And so it's made like a Prosecco. And then it's made from a bit of Pinot Noir, but mostly from a Lambrusco grape called Grasparosa, which I've never had before, but Lambrusco, we know, right? Like we know Lambrusco. Okay. And this wine has gotten a number of good reviews, so I'm really looking forward to trying it. And I'm curious to see if it's closer to like a Prosecco
that'll be
or a
interesting.
champagne. Yeah, we'll find that out. Okay. And then the third one, the third sparkling rose, I kind of a bit on the whim, Carmela, I was thinking about doing a whole episode on sparkling wines from South America. And we may do that at some point. Yep. But I thought it would be fun to do like a New World wine along with some Old World wines. And I know Cava is kind of easier to find.
Okay.
So I want to do that. The wine we chose is called Antucura Cherie Sparkling Rosé. And as I mentioned, it's from the Mendoza area of Argentina, which is most famous for Malbec.
Oh.
So those of you out there. Now, this sparkling rosé is made entirely from Pinot Noir.
Oh, wow.
And we
I
love...
wonder if it's darker.
I think it might be. So I think we're going to find that out. So I'm expecting us to like this because it's Pinot Noir. And you'll like this one, Carmela. This is what the winery says. Inspired by music lyrics.
Oh, wow.
Cherie is our expression of Pinot Noir rosé. While it is always appropriate to share sparkling rosé with your significant other, we believe that all occasions are made brighter with pink bubbles. So what song do you think that probably comes from?
I don't need to sing it. You should do the singing.
No, I'm not going to sing it.
Oh,
but
come
what
on.
do you think
My
it's
Cherie, of course.
My Cherie amor. That's it. That's all I'm going to do.
He just said, I'm not going to sing it.
No,
and then
I know.
he sang it.
I know. But don't you think that's kind of fun?
It's really cute.
Because we are both big Stevie Wonder fans.
Right. That is adorable.
Yeah. And then this wine is also made from the Charmat method as best as I can tell. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a little suspicious that it's on the sweeter side. But you know what? We're going to find out. And you know what? That might also be okay. Some people like their sparkling wines a little sweet. Some people may want a sweeter wine for New Year's Eve. So, hey, we're going to go for it. We're going to try it. So I say enough with this jibber jabber. How about we taste some wines?
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to take a pause. And we're going to try our first wine. Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our first sparkling rosé wine. I don't know why I did it with that French accent.
I don't know.
This is a Codorníu, Ana de Codorníu Cava Brut Rosé. And this is from Spain, from the San Sadurniu de Anoia area. The producer is the Codorníu family. This is non-vintage, which most sparkling wines are non-vintage. This was only $12.99 at wine.com. It's 12% alcohol. And again, it's 70% Pinot Noir and 30% Chardonnay. And this got a 91 from James Suckling, a 90 from Wine Enthusiast. Yeah, and a 90 from Wilfred Wong, who is special to wine.com. So what are you smelling?
Well, first of all, let's just talk about this color.
It's really an interesting color.
Yeah, it's none like I've ever seen. It's kind of like Fanta.
Yeah, it's kind of not quite pink. It's almost a little orangey.
It looks, I mean, it's funny. It's like, it's pretty.
It's pretty. I like it.
Against the white wall over there, it is really orange.
Yeah,
but pretty.
Against the orange wall, it's orange.
Yeah, but like if you put it against the white, it looks pretty dark.
And I like the bottle. The bottle's really interesting. It's almost like they painted the bottle white or something.
It almost looks like a Kahlua.
It does. It doesn't look like a wine. It's an interesting bottle. I mean, it's unique.
Right. And it's, you don't know, I mean, you know it's a rosé because it probably says on the bottle. It says it on it.
But and the foil at the top is pink.
Right.
Versus just white all the way up.
Yeah, that's true.
So
but you wouldn't know. You can't see the color of the wine, which is kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
You'd almost think with a rosé,
you'd want to show it off a little.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe they messed up. No,
they didn't mess up. Oh, okay, but what are you smelling? So
I'm getting a lot. I mean, it's in a flute, which is always difficult to cram my big nose in.
Yeah, big nose, right. The classics are going to be kind of a strawberry and a watermelon, and I'm getting some of that.
Okay.
Yeah, you've often said like watermelon kiwi, and I'm kind of getting a little bit of that.
I'm getting that strawberry more than anything, I think.
Yeah.
It's not yeasty.
It's not yeasty.
It's
not yeasty.
Yeah, not at all. It's more definitely like a more fresh, fruitier
It is
smell.
fruity. Yeah. Should we try it and see what we think?
Sure.
Let's try it.
Ooh, it's very mild.
It's mild. It's effervescent. Sometimes champagne, which sounds stupid because effervescent is bubbly, but sparkling wines can be like bubbly in the mouth. This one is fizzy. It almost feels fizzy to me in the mouth.
Like Pop Rocks.
Don't you think a little bit?
A little bit like Pop Rocks. It's definitely fruity. It's dry. I mean, it's dry. It's not sweet, but it's fruity.
It's sweet on the front though. It's very
maybe a little. You think so?
Yeah, and I'm tasting almost not as much strawberry as like raspberry or some sort of like tartar fruit. It's sweet, but it's got little bitterness on it, but it's also it's really interesting.
Even like this is kind of going down a different road, but kind of a plum, but like a really not an underripe. Like a kind of an underripe plum, kind of like how the skin's kind of tangy and tart. Yeah,
tangy. It is kind of tangy.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's good. It's refreshing too.
It's different. It's not what I expected.
No.
It doesn't have that. You're right. Like it's not yeasty. So this again, Cava is made in the kind of traditional method, and this is using 2 very champagne-y grapes, but it doesn't have a champagne-y taste to me.
No. And it definitely, those bubbles, like you were saying, they stick around.
They're
like
fizzy.
it feels, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's like a little celebration in your mouth.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know?
Wow. And I'm going to use my sexy voice.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I don't know what that means. Dirty.
That is dirty. No.
What food might you pair?
You could definitely eat food with this.
As opposed to eating like what? A chair? A blanket?
You could,
a pillow?
If you,
okay.
You could, I don't think it would pair well with a pillow, but
what would you pair it with?
I think this would be good with fish. Like with,
Would you have it with the Feast of the 7 Fishes?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I definitely would. Do you think so? Mm-hmm. I think you could do like fried fish too, though.
Mm-hmm. I think it would go well with like fried foods and spicy foods, but I do think it's on the sweeter, like it's dry in the mouth, like we were saying, but it is on the sweeter side. It feels to me more like an aperitif.
Yes,
like a before. Night. Yeah, this would be a really nice before dinner drink, or even an after dinner drink. It's a little less of a food wine to me.
I think you're right. I don't know. Yeah, if we would sit down and have this with dinner,
probably not. Probably not.
But it's light enough. I mean, it would pair well with, like you said, spicy food too.
Yeah. And I think it's a good like celebration wine. It's fun. It's pretty pleasant. It's not overpowering. It's not a lot going on, but it's not super complex. I think it would be like, I think people would drink this would go, ooh, I like this.
Right.
I like this. I can drink this.
Right. You could spend the whole night with this.
Wow. With Anna. Wow. With Anna Condru, or whatever her name is.
Between the sexy voice
and Anna.
And the celebration in your mouth, and now spending the night with Anna.
Codorníu. Yes.
We're getting a little carried away here.
Okay.
What is your New Year's resolution?
To stay away from Anna. Okay.
Or not.
Let's rate this wine. So as a reminder on our rating scale, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10, and 7 and above means that, hey, we're going to buy it, and 4 and below means we're probably going to pour it down the sink, and in between 5 or 6 means we're going to drink it, and we're probably going to finish it, but we're probably not going to buy it, and we might look for something else.
Okay.
What rating would you give this wine?
Okay, so I think it's definitely good enough to have a 7. Like, I'm happy drinking it. I'm not sure. I may not buy it. I might look for something else, but even the bottle is a great little fixture. It's like a cool thing to have around.
It's a fun party.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm giving it a 7. I'm not totally sold on the 7. I like it. Look, let's not bag on this wine.
Right. It's hardly good wine. Anything that you can be judgmental about.
No, it's a good wine. It's fun. It's festive.
There's nothing.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna go. This is fun. Like you get this wine, people are gonna be happy, and it looks a little different. Like so, people are gonna go. It's kind of a conversation piece. Like, ooh, this wine. Where'd you get it? Oh, a Cava. What's a Cava? Oh, that's fun.
My God, what kind of conversations do you have?
Don't you have those?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it? You don't have those conversations with the guys
all the time.
Okay.
Actually, all the time.
Oh, when you're playing golf. Oh, you want to put
what?
I don't know. Anyway, football. Okay, I don't know what I've lost it. I've totally lost it. It's been I'm on vacation, so there we go. Okay.
My God. So you have energy tonight. I'm the one that's like,
I know you're the dragon. You're dragging after I did all the work too. No, you did. Okay. So anyway, so what's funny though, I think we're both 7 on this, but as I've tasted it again. Pop Rocks. It's got it has a candy taste to it. And it actually is reminding me of Pop Rocks. The red Pop Rocks.
Yeah, a little that effervescence, that little bit of fizziness.
Yeah.
And it's a little artificial looking.
Yeah. Okay, pretty. So here's a dare for you out there in listening land.
Okay.
Have this with Pop Rocks.
Oh God!
Remember how they had the whole thing like you put Pop Rocks with Coke and like you're gonna
so you might
the top of your mouth will burn off, which never happened.
Oh my goodness!
Remember that?
Why would you suggest that?
Because it'll be super fun, and you have that.
They won't be happy. These people in listening land.
We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna clean out our glasses, and we're gonna try our next wine. Okay, we are back, and we are ready to try our next sparkling rosé.
Cheers!
Ding ding! Oh, we should cheers. Yes. That was lame sounding. That sounded like, I don't know.
Tin candy.
Exactly.
What
Okay.
the heck?
This is Cleto, Chiarli, Brut de Noir Rosé. This one is definitely pink.
It's so pink.
The bottle's pink.
Pretty
No,
and
it's not.
pink.
The bottle's not pink. It's a clear bottle, but you can see the pink. It is
Yes.
a very pink wine.
It's very pretty and pink.
very
like
pretty.
It's a great looking bottle too. Mm-hmm. Very celebration like.
Agree.
Nice gift.
I agree. So this comes from Italy, the Emilia-Romagna area. The producer is Cleto Chiarli. This is non-vintage again. This was $15.99. I got it at wine.com. Also 12% alcohol. And this is 85% Lambrusco Gasporosa and 15% Pinot Noir. So only a bit of Pinot Noir. And this got a 91 from James Suckling because he gives everything a 91. This also got a 90 from Wine Enthusiast and a 90 from Wilfred Wong.
My God.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you smelling,
So-
my dear?
I am definitely getting more strawberry on this one,
Okay.
but I also feel like I'm getting flowers.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
Like a rosy kind of smell.
Rose petalish. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I, the initial smell when you were pouring it, I was getting more toast on it, more of that typical yeast smell. But I am getting more of I think kind of that rose petal idea is kind of coming through for me on this one.
I also
think?
think I'm getting something kind of creamy. It's got kind of like a
creamsicle?
creamy, like cream. Like whipped cream. Like, do you kind of get a little creamy smell?
Mm-hmm, a little bit.
There's some creaminess to it.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's from.
Should we try
And
it?
maybe a little bit like it's got some like earthy tones. And does you smell any citrus? Maybe like a grapefruity kind of smell
A
almost.
little bit of, even a little bit of pith on it.
Okay, let's try this sucker. See
Okay.
what we think. Ooh,
Wow.
nice. It's tart.
Different. So different. than
It's
the other
different.
one. There's some grapefruit on it.
There's definitely grapefruit.
And
It's
that
tart.
creaminess is coming through too. It's almost
Totally
like
creamy.
a creamsicle, but with grapefruit. Rather
Grapefruit
than orange.
creamsicle.
Instead of orange.
Which I would like, actually.
Actually, yes. Ooh, it's very different.
It's really nice. It does have it definitely has grapefruit, citrus notes on it. I'm not getting that flowery, but it is creamy. It's got like a super creamy body, like mouthfeel to it.
It's so pretty, and it's not as fizzy as the first one.
But what's funny though, at the top of the glass there is fizz. I think it's fizzy. I think it's effervescent.
it doesn't stay in your mouth like the other one.
No, but it is again like it's less like bubbly and more fizzy. That's what I'm finding with both of these wines is that they're a little fizzier than I'm used to with a sparkling wine.
This is kind of like bubble gum.
Bubblegum's not bad.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's that little, like bubblegum can have, but there's a little bit of like
Chewiness.
citrus instead of the sweetness of a bubblegum, but the creaminess that you get off of it.
I'm not getting quite as much strawberry anymore, but I might be getting some like a tart fruit, like a raspberry or something on it.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that on the last one, but I feel like I'm getting that more, like a tart fruit on this one, but definitely more citrusy.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. I think this is more of a food wine.
What would you have with it?
I think I would have it with, I think you can have it with tons of different types of fish. I think you can have it with fried foods. You can have it with spicy foods. I think it's a really good, I think you could have it with chicken. I think white meats. I think you could have it with, I think it's a really nice wine.
It is a really nice
I'm
wine.
really liking it. I
Yes.
think it's quite delicious.
Wow, quite delicious,
Quite delicious. Yeah. What about you? What would you eat with it?
Well, all of the same things for sure. I think you covered all of them, really. But
Yeah.
I would even do, this would be a really fun toasting wine where you're like having some lighter foods too, like charcuterie boards.
Like a before
and-
dinner.
Yes, yeah. And like you're doing, some cheeses and a baked brie
Yeah.
and, some little yummy appetizers. This is a very festive celebration wine.
Yeah, and I think this is a wine you could have all night. This is kind of like an all-night
Yes.
wine. You can have it before, during,
You will not tire of
after
it.
dinner.
It's not too sweet.
It's not
sweet.
It's sweet. It's definitely got sweetness on it,
But it's
a little
not-
more tart.
yeah.
And it's dry in the mouth.
And it's doable for like a long term. But some of the sweet ones you can have a couple of sips and then you need to move on. So
Good.
nice.
It's really nice.
Beautiful
I really like
too.
it. What it is really it is a pretty pink wine.
It's a beautiful glass of wine for sure.
Yeah, it's very festive. It's very festive. It's a very festive wine.
Sure.
Okay, what rating would you give this wine? You give the last one a 7.
Goodness.
We both give the last one a 7.
I'm going to give it right now, and I may change it, but I'm going to give it a good solid 8.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're going to give it an 8.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with a 7, although I'm tempted to go higher because I think
I like this one better.
I like
than
this
the
one
first
better.
one.
I like this one better. It's not knocking me out, but it's good. It's a solid wine. It's solid wine. I would definitely buy it. Okay. I would definitely buy this wine.
Lots
you would
of
enjoy
reasons
this
to
wine.
buy it.
Yeah, this is a very enjoyable wine. I think if you served it at a party or a dinner or something, people would. This is a wine that people would go, "Wow, nice wine. What is it? Where'd you get it? Oh, it's Italian. Oh, it's not Prosecco.
Okay, it's a winner. It's Italian. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like, but it's not Prosecco. What do you mean it's not Prosecco? Blah blah.
That's kind of interesting to me that it's not Prosecco too.
Yeah.
Go, live outside the box a little bit.
Open up a little.
Right.
Spread your wings.
Exactly.
Spread your wings, people.
And open up other people's minds. Like blow their minds.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Boom.
Exactly.
Boom.
Prosecco, I mean predictable.
Come on.
Who wants to be the
Boring.
predictable Prosecco person?
That's a good alliteration. Wow. The 3 Ps.
That's right. Nobody wants to be that.
No
a person,
way.
Predictable,
And Prosecco.
No.
Okay. Anyway. All right.
So what are you giving it?
I already said I give it a 7.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we are going to take a break. We're going to clean out our glasses and we're going to try our last wine, which I'm really interested in.
Okay.
Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our last rosé sparkling wine. This is the Antucura Cherie Sparkling Rosé. And Carmela, I think we both noticed that this is pink, but it's a light pink. It is salmon.
Oh, it is salmon,
think
but
it's
it's kind
salmon-y?
of a more typical rosé color.
Yeah.
I think it's not like extra pink, and it's not artificially looking orange.
No.
It looks very natural.
You noticed too that it didn't have the last two had kind of fizz at the top, and this one doesn't. This beautiful bubbles, but not fizz at the top.
What's the alcohol percentage?
Well, I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
So this is from Argentina, from the Mendoza area, again famous for Malbec. But here we go. The producer is Antucura. It's non-vintage. This was $16.99, so our most expensive one. Wine.com is where we got it. 12% alcohol.
Okay.
And this is 100% Pinot Noir. And James Suckling gave this a 90. Wine Enthusiast gave it an 87, which is not a bad rating. It's just not a 90 because James Suckling gives everything a 90. And what are you smelling on this one, Carmela?
Okay, so this one again is having some of that toaster yeast for me.
Earthier smell.
Yeah, definitely less fruit on it, I think.
But you know what? The fruit, I'm smelling a little bit more of a cherry, but like a cherry pit almost.
Oh, interesting.
Don't you think?
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of, even like strawberries, and they're like a little bit of a strawberry, but like when they're the little earthiness that you get off a strawberry sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of getting that too. But there is earthiness in it.
Almond, like an almond.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like a nut. It's interesting, like that earthy kind of a roasted almond.
I was thinking, what about like a chestnut almost too?
Okay, yeah. I can buy that, but it's earthy. It's like sometimes we talk about bramble, like it's got like a bramble, like the leaves. It smells like the leaves of
the strawberry Maybe
plant.
that's what I'm thinking of. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting smell. Very different than the other two.
It is different, definitely different, and I'm not getting it's not as sweet, not as tart smelling. So let's see what it tastes like.
Ooh, different. It tastes like it smells.
It does. It's not sweet.
No.
It's really not sweet. It's I don't
strong.
know how to describe it.
It's like bitter.
It's very dry.
Very dry, very bitter.
It's clean.
Really? I feel like it's hanging around. It's different. It's really different. Not what I expected at all. Is it what you expected at all?
No, I don't know how to describe it. It's fruit. I can taste fruit, but it's super dry. Like super dry. It's not, the fruit disappears pretty quickly.
And I feel like there's some bitterness on it. Like
there
a lot of bitterness. Almost like a...
I've got it.
Okay, what?
Watermelon rind. That's what it tastes like to me. Watermelon rind. You know when you get down to the white part of the watermelon?
Yes.
And it's still a little watermelon taste to it, but it's more bitter? That's kind of what it's tasting like to me.
I'm getting like tart cherry.
Okay.
But
tart,
something, yeah.
Which would totally make sense because it's a Pinot Noir.
Right. Like
tart cherry totally makes sense.
Yeah. I almost like... but not
underripe.
Or yeah. Or the juices of it, though, too, like not like cherries are super juicy, but there's something about it that's, it's underripe.
This is not a sweet, this is a tart cherry.
Didn't you think it was going to be sweet?
I didn't smell sweetness on it.
Oh, but when you, but I thought when we talked about it earlier,
no, you're right. You're right. I
that-
was worried that it would be kind of almost a cloying kind of sweetness to it. It's
very
definitely
different.
not.
Yeah.
It's way different than I thought it was going to be.
I know. I don't know if we're here yet, but what would you pair with this?
I think this would go really well with food. I think this is in fact, I would say this is more of a food sparkling wine than it is a drinking sparkling wine.
Right, you would want to have food with it. I think
if you were having this with food, it would be fantastic.
And I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
So
there's that. No, I'm serious. Like I think this would go really well. I know we've said
yes.
fried foods and we've said fish and blah, but I think with food, this wine would be fantastic because it's super dry and it's got a lot of nice qualities to it. It's very acidic.
Yeah.
Like I think this would be a great
I think the
food
wine would taste even better with food, too.
I think so. So I think this might be one of those where if you're getting this for a party, I'd probably not. This would not be
to what kind of party?
As a non-party. No, I just think the first two are a little bit more like festive, woohoo! Like we're at a party, it's got some sweetness.
Come in
we're
the
gonna
door,
go.
have a glass.
Yeah.
Like,
To me, this is more a sophisticated kind of taste to it, and it's more of like, hey, gang.
Right. Hey, gang.
Hey, gang. We're going to have this.
Sophisticated,
we're so sophisticated, gang, that we're going to have this with dinner.
Yeah, I get it. I do think that this one is way more complex.
Way more. This is sophisticated to me.
This is something you
kind of a
talk
cool,
about. Like, you don't just take a sip
and the bottle is cool. My Cherie.
Oh, yeah.
I like the bottle. I'm thinking this, again, New Year's Eve. Maybe if you're having some friends over for dinner and you want to just like having a small party, this is a great one. I don't know that it's like the party dog wine.
No.
But it's really good.
Well, and the thing is, if you're going to have sparkling all night, let's just say these three would actually be super fun to have the before, during dinner, and after dinner. These three would be a great combination to have throughout the night. But yeah, this one with food is going to it's going to be more of a wow factor.
Yeah. And I'm getting now a little citrus on it too. It's got that tartness, citrusy.
It's definitely a different taste than the other two.
It's I think it is complex. It's different. Like for a sparkling wine, it's pretty different. Okay, what rating would you give this one, Carmela?
Well, I think that I'm going to give it. It's not what I probably go to. It's not going to be the one I finish tonight. I'm probably going to give it, but I would buy it because I think it's interesting. So I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay, you're giving it a 7. I'm giving it an 8.
Okay.
I kind of think, like, despite the fact that it's not as festive as the others. So I think, again, New Year's Eve wine, you're going to a party or you're going to have a big party. I'd probably do one of the other two. If you're doing something like quiet, intimate, I would do this one. And I just like it. I think it's sophisticated. I think it's cool. I think it's delicious. I like the fact that it's from Argentina. I think that's a little different. They won the World Cup. Lionel Messi, there's all that too.
Right.
So
that's kind of a cool thing. That is actually... Yeah. This would be a fun bottle of wine to give to any Argentinian that you know.
That's a great
celebration of the World Cup.
Hey, we're gonna have a World Cup New Year's Eve party. Bring this
we're gonna
one.
Cheer. Salute them. Whatever. I think that's cool.
Yeah, really cool. So, which one of these would you finish tonight?
Well, I think based on my ratings, I'm going for the Italian Cleto.
The Cleto.
Yes.
Cleto. And I'm going to do this one. This one I really, really like. And then what do you think overall of the sparkling rosé?
I love it.
Yeah, love it.
We love sparkling rosé.
Look,
you don't have to twist my arm.
I did. You can get arrested for that.
Yeah, true. Start twisting my arm.
Yeah.
No, so first of all, a sparkling rosé on New Year's, awesome idea. But you know what? Think about it on a Monday night too, or Tuesday night.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the taste profiles expected from a sparkling rosé. Okay. So let's talk about the Cava first. The winery says aromas of red fruit, strawberries, cherries, and woodland fruits with hints of green apple, well-balanced acidity and sweetness. And James Suckling said red berry and candied orange character.
Okay.
Did we get any of that?
You got a little.
Okay. The Cleto. James Suckling said watermelon and lemon character.
Okay.
Medium body, lovely creamy texture.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Wine enthusiast said aromas of apple, berry, and bread crust. Red cherry and a hint of pastry cream.
Okay, so the creaminess definitely came through
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Wilfred Wong said aromas and flavors of zippy red fruit and mineral notes, leesy strawberries, faint mint, and cider apples.
Okay.
Faint mint. I don't know about that. And the Cherie, the winery, says perfect combination of aromas of yeast, toast, candied fruits, and white flowers, aromas of raspberry and fresh strawberry, hints of tropical fruit. Well, maybe.
Okay.
A rosé. James Suckling says a rosé with plenty of dried fruit character and lemon undertones. Bright acidity. Wine enthusiast says strawberry, field grass. We were definitely getting that earthiness.
Yes.
Creamy lactic aromas, bright palate, ripe but short flavors. We got that. Of melon, we were getting watermelon and spiced apple. I don't think we got that. Acidity, fresh acidity, a touch of powdered sugar flavor.
Oh, interesting. Powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which I think I can kind of get that because powdered sugar is dry and you know what I mean?
True.
Like if you get like taste it, it's sweet, but it's kind of like dry.
Right. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I like it.
That was so fun.
Super fun. And it's fun to get like, I actually am most excited that we were getting that kind of creaminess on that one wine. Like that was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
you really feel that in the body. Yeah. Really cool. Okay. Well, this was fun, Carmela. Are you ready for New Year's Eve?
With you, I am.
Okay. We're going to try this clinking again. See. That was better.
We gotta
the first
work on
one was it did sound
we're
like
too far away from each other.
Oh, do you want to get closer? Now don't be shy.
Wow.
You can get a little closer with Arid Extra Dry.
Okay, wait.
Okay,
that just was a real big turn off. Like,
wow. You don't want the antiperspirant commercial?
No, I don't know.
No, not so much. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay, so we want to thank you very much for listening to us. We are the Wine Pair Podcast. And you know, while you're thinking about it, we think you should subscribe and give us a nice rating. How about that, right? And we'd love to hear from you, so you can reach out to us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com, and you can email us at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com, and you can follow us on Instagram and Counter Social, and you can just DM us and let us know what you think and wines you want us to try, and just hang out with us.
Right.
Whatever.
Come
there you
over
go.
for New Year's.
Ooh.
We'll be here.
And bring the sparkling rosé.
We may not be here, but you can still come over.
That's right. So we want to thank you again for listening to us, and we'll see you next time. And as we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine.
Cheers.
Sexy voice.
Wow, sexy voice, man.
Dirty voice.
Wow.
Bye-bye.
In your mouth. Celebration in your mouth.
How much you love me, and the happy ending at the end of our story. Always think too much.